Hi everybody, thanks for watching this weekly Connect for the first weekend in December. We are going to be talking about Jesus' birth in December. What a surprise. I'm sure you're all so surprised. And of course, because it's the first weekend, we have a new memory verse. So the memory verse craft is a little Christmas tree with memory verse on it. So of course, have them color it first. I did give 2 options of stars. The kids can cut out and choose which star they want. Or I guess it's their Christmas tree. They can put both stars on, right? And then we have some information down here about cutting. So this is what your tree is going to end up looking like this. It has a little stand. So this part of the tree, you only cut right here so that you can fold this back. It gives the trunk a little bit more of a substantial trunk. And then you will cut out the rectangle for the memory that says the actual address. And then you'll want to glue that together like this at the end so that it's gluing to itself. And then straight in the middle, you'll want to cut a slit. And then that way, your child can put their Christmas tree right in that slit there. And they'll have this tail back here for a little bit more of a stand, so it stands up, and then they can put it on their desk or however they want to do it because it stands up, because that pops out. So super easy craft, lots of cutting. So if you have first graders and you need to cut some ahead of time, come in a little bit early and start cutting out those stars or however you want to help them out. But allow them to color that and get that ready for themselves. And then you'll talk about the verse as they're doing their craft, and you'll go right into story time. And the Connect question is asking if you were going to be going on a long trip somewhere, where would you want to go? And just let the kids talk a little bit. That'll transition nicely into the story about going back to Bethlehem. Our verse, or our story, the Bible passage is from Luke 2, verses 1 through 6. So it's short passages today. So of course, if you're the storyteller, go ahead and read those over. See how God's talking to you. The way I wrote it in the curriculum is I had some information on Bethlehem now to make it more real, like the kids know that this is a real place now. It was real when Jesus was there, and it's still here today. And it just talks about how Bethlehem is today. Then you talk a little bit about the trip that Joseph and Mary took, and then while you're doing that, you're kind of weaving in some more information about Bethlehem from the Bible. And so just do that. Make that story your own, as always, however it works best for you, or you can just read it exactly as it is written. Then you'll do your worship and offering, and of course your blessing. Our blessing this week is John 3:16. So the kids will know that. I'm sure they can say that blessing right along with you, or at least that verse with you, and then you can give the blessing portion of that. And then you'll transition back to your classrooms. The after story review questions are there. Have that review time with them. Of course, you'll always do your prayer time if you have time for that as well. And then we have a game involving candy canes. So each child will have their own candy cane that they'll get. The way I'm going to handle it in my classroom is I'm going to put all the candy canes on a table. I'm going to pick each child to come up and see how many candy canes they can get into a bucket in a minute. So I'm probably going to do it with the review questions. Like I'll ask a review question, and then if the child gets the question correct, they get to come up, and if they so choose, they can participate in trying to get as many candy canes into a bucket. So they get to pick a candy cane that will be theirs. They can put it in their mouth. I would just unwrap just the end of the straight edge. I wouldn't unwrap the whole thing, because in case it gets broken, it's better if it's inside the package still. Or they can just put the wrapper right in their mouth, however that's best for them. Just put that in their mouth, and they have to move the candy canes that are laying on the table from the table into the bucket without using their hands, using only that cane. Another thing that you can do is set up relay races. You could have set up 2 teams, have one side answer a question, then have the other side answer a question. When you have 2 right answers from each side, then they can do a relay race back and forth. Or they can all line up and try and, it's all written in your curriculum, but they can all line up and try to pass that candy cane using only the cane that is in their mouth. So what you don't want to do is have the kids all grab a candy cane and open them all up, because they're going to actually be needing them for the game. So keep that in mind as you're planning that. With all that being said, if you still have time in your class, the Bible word for next week is Matthew 2. So you can have the kids turn to that and start reading up on that as well. So thank you very much for all your time and effort, and I hope that you are enjoying this Christmas season as much as I am already. I just love the time after Thanksgiving going into Christmas. It's just a wonderful time of year, and I hope that you are not being bogged down with all of the craziness of the materialism and the conspiracy as we talk about the Advent conspiracy, but that you are really enjoying this time and really concentrating on Jesus and his birth. And I just thank you so much for all that you give to Crossroads, and what a blessing that you are. So if you have any questions, call me, email me, or you can talk to your campus director. And I just thank you again, and have a blessed week, and we will just be happy teaching together all these fun lessons coming up in December. Thanks.